Here we have a freshly completed Debolt Machine Vaughn engine. Single flywheel, side shaft, open crank on the side. I got this as an uncompleted kit. It had never been started before, and I've run it now for about, I'll say about half an hour. I'm on my second tank of fuel. On the fuel here, I'm running Coleman lantern fuel. I have some castor oil mixed in with it. Really using a lot of oil right now because the ring is breaking in. Gonna rush along here to try and keep this video short as possible because I'd like to have it play in the high quality mode on YouTube, and they cut me back to a standard mode if the video is too long. We'll go into the fuel mixture here. Right now I have a notch there so you can see it. This is very sensitive because of the angle that's on the needle here. It's a very fat angle. I didn't want to change anything. I want to keep this engine as original as possible. If somebody wants to change and put a better taper on that needle, a little ant there. If they want to put a better taper on that needle, go for it, but I didn't want to change anything here. So because it's such a fat taper on that needle, this only needs to be turned the slightest amount. If you watch this here, turning it out about that much is the run position. That would be running lean, and just out that far it's running rich. That's how sensitive this is, just so you know. That's about in the run position. Again, you only have to go that much to have it run rich, and in a little bit more to have it run lean. So that's very sensitive, but again, it's something I don't want to mess with because these engines are kind of hard to find, and I didn't want to modify anything on it. Compression's coming up real nice. You can spin the flywheel, you can see it bouncing back. Again, it's only got about a half an hour, maybe slightly more run time in it. For the water in here, the tank, I painted the tank on the inside before I put it together and painted the outside. So it's not bare metal. I did have to drill for the drain so that the drain hole goes up through the block at an angle and then comes straight up in the center of the tank. That drain hole is not painted inside. So when I take the water out of here, when I took the water out the other night after I ran it for the first time, I put a little bit of oil in here and let some oil run out. So I got oil down in that drain hole so it doesn't rust up because you can't get paint down in there. This drain plug here, I have grease on it, and it's turned in pretty much just hand tight. So the grease is just to keep it from dripping while it's running. Anything else I can think of here? I put a drill starter on here for my convenience. I have a problem with my thumb and doing the grip and playing around with a mixture and keep spinning it over. I can't do that. I got problems with my thumb. So I will include this starter, not the drill, but there's a one-way bearing starter here. You can see a keyway notch. Line that up with a keyway notch here, and I tapped and put some screws in here that slide into the keyway on the drill. This part here, since I didn't want to modify the original pulley here or put a hole in it with a set screw, I made this aluminum part, and there's 3 set screws that go out and hold this in place. For show, if you don't want this in here, you can just loosen those set screws and slide this out. And then you have the pulley, and like I said, I didn't want to modify it and hold it in with another set screw. That's the original set screw hole. That set screw goes down on the keyway. Spark timing I have set at about 10 degrees advanced right now. This is the mechanism I've been playing around with for the lockout for the exhaust valve. It fires about 3 times, 2 times right now, and then freewheels for a little bit. I don't have it running real fast. It's got to break in a little bit yet, and I have another engine project to get to. So we'll let anything up to the next owner as far as getting it running a little bit better. It's not bad right now. This might have to be played with. This is turned in to increase the spring tension here for it to run at a higher RPM. So right now I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to start it, let it run a little bit. As a low tension coil, positive negative here really doesn't matter. I have the positive close to the hot wire for the make and break points. Negative would be your engine is grounded. You could have them on the other way, it's still going to run. You would just make the engine a positive ground. Turn the oiler on here. Just run regular 30 weight oil in it. I've been running a lot of oil through the cylinder again because it's breaking in. And I will clean this up before I sell it. Drain the fuel out, drain the water out. I'll put some oil in here. Keep that passageway lubricated so it doesn't rust. And let's see what we got here. I have to do this with one hand, so the mixture is probably going to be off. I'm going to turn this out, like I said, just the slightest bit, and let's see where we're at. Oh, I'll include this is what I use for the greasing of the rod. I'll include this with it. Goes in there and push on it, give it a good push, and you can see the grease is squeezing out. I have everything greased up really well right now, again, because everything's breaking in. Just do this with one hand. Line the slot up. There we go. And that's in there. This is a one-way bearing. It'll push to turn the engine over, and if the engine kicks over, it'll freewheel in the other direction. Let's see if we can. Oh, okay. I did hook that up. Okay. There we go. Had to give it a little more fuel. Let's go check this adjustment here. I got the oil on. Again, running a lot of oil through the cylinder right now, and there's even oil in the fuel. Oh, that's a little neat. There we go. It needed to be richened up a little bit. Loosen this a little bit here. I think this clearance here, and which is adjusted by moving the weights one way or another, needs to be fussed with. Possibly another weight spring on here. But this is the way I'm going to sell it on eBay. I'd like to play around with it for a few more days, but I have a brush olds that somebody's waiting for that I need to get started on. needs some run time. Break in. You don't want to let it get too hot. You can hold your hand on there, it's good. If it keeps firing too much, like running like a small 4-stroke engine, it's gonna get hot, so don't let it get too hot. Only takes this. Oh, I leaned it out too much. Only takes the slightest amount. Unhook this when you're finished running it. Oh, I use a 12-volt gel cell, not included. Any 12-volt source will work great. See how the grease coming out there? I greased everything up really good, so I've got to go over it and clean it up. This is the way I'm going to be selling it. We'll let the fine tuning up to the next owner, but it's really close right now. I think the spring, my thoughts are the spring tension needs to be changed here, maybe a different weight spring. So this comes out a little freer, and maybe the gap here for the lockout needs to be a little further away, so that it pulls back on time. Make it fire a little bit smoother as far as when it locks out the exhaust valve. If you have any questions, please email me at joekind, JOEKIND, @comcast.net, or you can message me through the eBay ad. I'll post the eBay ad number below in the comments. And to those of you that watch my videos of the engines that I have built and restored, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. It sure is a fun hobby. Again, wish I could spend a little bit more time with this on the running, but I already have a few extra weeks into this one, and I need to get started on my next Bryce Olds project. And keep an eye out for that one. Thank you for watching.